Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Council Operations, IT, and Public Transportation Committee. Madam Clerk, would you mind doing the roll call, please?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Schlepper,
Here.
Ms. Simon. Here. Mr. Castleberry,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
There is a quorum.
All right, is there any public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one has signed in.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 18th, 2025 meeting. Do I have a second?
So moved. There a second?
All right. Sounds good. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Let's move down to matters referred to committee.
Resolution number 2026-0021, authorizing an amendment to contract number 4860 with Point Blank Solutions and Matrix Point Software for software and maintenance on the Justice Matters and DocuPoint case and document management systems.
All right, very good. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon. Pete Seghetti, Chief Information Officer for the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office, presenting. We're here for seeking approval for an extension for our enterprise case management software, Matrix Point Suite software. We really have a gold standard in this software with Matrix. They have a proven track record of innovation success in enterprise legal and investigative case management systems. The Attorney General's Office, BCI, and most recently the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C. are all driven by Matrix Suite products. The funding for this is currently in our biennial budget that was just approved, and we're looking for approval to mend the current contract for a new 5-year term with a not to exceed of $3,482,672.
I would like to open it up for any questions from my colleagues about this particular piece.
Mr. It's always good to deal with the gold standard,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
thank you.
Anyone else have any questions about this in particular? I just had a question in terms of, when we talk about, some of the things that these particular pieces of software or systems do, can you kind of just, layman's terms for those of us that don't normally work in this space, but just kind of break down a little bit more what this is seeking to do?
Sure. Well, as stated, it's really an enterprise system, so it's the equivalent of really something on the order of a magnitude of an ERP system for a prosecutor's office. What we've developed over the years goes far beyond just a single software product that's provided by the vendor. So there is no turnkey in our environment where we just take someone else's software and plug it in. I highlighted a few areas of really the integration and capabilities that we've developed over the last 2 decades with this software. So in 2008, it was, well, back then it was referred to as Justice Matters, not Matrix Prosecutors, but the Justice Matters system was the first electronic submission management for criminal information in the county. Back then, everybody was 100% paper-based, and under then prosecutor Mason, he had the vision and said, no, I want all of this electronic information flowing to us electronically, not through paper. So that process started back in 2008. Shortly thereafter, we piloted, and it was right when open discovery was becoming a mandate, but it preceded it. We came up with an electronic means to provide discovery to defense counsel. That was one of the first in the country at the time to do that. Since then, we've developed a lot of integrations, interfaces to many systems. Most recently, our Axon system, which handles, all of our body cam videos, anything we receive from the city of Cleveland flows into our Axon. We have automation in place between systems where all of that information is cataloged in our case management system from Axon, and that's the point at which we use to provide the information to defense counsel and discovery. The discovery obligation is massive for a prosecutor's office of this size, and what that integration allows for us to do in discovery is merely send a link to those videos and images, and defense counsel has a choice to either just view them interactively through the Axon website or download them for themselves if they wish to do so. One of the other areas where we really did some pioneering effort is the mining of emails. Since we don't yet have an interface with Common Pleas or the clerk of court's office, we've developed an integration through Matrix tools that allow us to read all of the journal entry emails that come in, and we attempt to extract information from those emails. So then we've automated now creating about a 90% success rate of hearing appointments, arraignment information, those types of things that normally flow from the court. One of the other more recent initiatives is we did a pilot project with a company called Peregrine AI. Peregrine AI is, as their name implies, it's an AI sort of integrator of data from all sorts of different data sources. The Ohio Attorney General just utilized this platform to take their it used to be called OLEG, the Ohio Law Enforcement Gateway. They took that product and built in a Peregrine access point to all of that data. And before, you had to go into every individual silo to find your information as you did an investigation or resource. The power of the Peregrine tool is it allows you to seamlessly connect all of those things. So now through the use of that tool, we've connected our case management system to our own internal system, other internal databases. We've connected it to our Axon environment. We're currently working, with the sheriff's office to get the approvals to, ingest jail call data and all of the electronic inmate communications, video visitation, transcription of calls, and the use of jail mail. So very, very quickly, we're going to be developing a county-wide justice investigative platform that will be very easily and inexpensively then be able to invite others to share that data. And along the years also, we've developed several other features that really are unique to Cuyahoga County. We have a system of party alerts when a prosecutor has tagged as a relevant person or person of interest. That person, when they re-enter the system, automatically triggers a series of configured notifications. We have an jail inmate linking feature that ties us fully to the current county jail and also will to the new JMS, where we receive all the bookings and transfers and discharges. So our prosecutors always see that information timely within 15 minutes. We've developed what's called the Clerk's Portal, which allows us to send copies of the indictment, get the cases set up, and then the court in turn feeds back to us the case number that prosecution will ultimately take. So those are some of the key areas. One thing I didn't mention also was the foreclosure product that we use, that we're currently in the process of upgrading, and that was pretty much from the very beginning 100% built for the volume and the practice that we have here in county for foreclosure. So there is no like off-the-shelf foreclosure management type product.
I mean, it seems like it's just a ton of moving parts within that office, and it makes sense, when you think about all the different operations and pieces that are happening. So I think that's really, really exciting that we can kind of continue this and that we're seeing movement in terms of, making it more cohesive, making sure that they have the opportunity to connect with one another. Could you speak to maybe, and this will probably be my last question about this one, but just what's kind of one of the biggest challenges, or has been one of the biggest challenges with this contract, or things that maybe have been cumbersome about using these products?
Directly about using the products, it would have come when we did a very large system upgrade a little over a year ago. We went from the initial, we call it the V1 version that was developed back in 2008, and when they rolled out a brand new web-based engineered software, the softwares were completely different. So it was a much harder transition, believe it or not, going from actually it's an easier transition going from nothing to the V1 system than it was after 10 years of using the V1 system going to the V3 system. So it was a learning curve. We had some things that we worked with them to sort of redevelop for us, which they did. But other than that, the office is taken well to it. There's so many of the younger prosecutors and staff coming into the office are much more comfortable with just like web-based things in general, as opposed to sort of the old style of applications.
All right, very good. Any of my colleagues have any questions? Yes, Council.
Thank you. Through the chair, just a comment. I just want to say thank you for all of this. I remember I was a young lawyer doing defense work, and when the mandatory discovery came out, the county prosecutor's office was ready to do it. At the time, it seemed extremely innovative. It was, but now things have changed significantly. It was daunting. I remember we were all like, "What are we doing with this?" But thank you for prosecutor's office has always been on the cutting edge of technology. So thank you.
That's great. Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Schlepper. Thank you for the presentation. And I'm not even sure I'm going to phrase this question right, because it's really not my world with the IT end of it. But when you mentioned the Peregrine system and AI, do you anticipate, I know it's hard to anticipate where it's going to go, but with this, signing this like a 5-year deal to run these systems, do you anticipate any changes or any other needs? Are we able to adapt to any changes that AI may bring to us or within this system, within this contract? Do you anticipate any?
The Peregrine system and that initiative, that part is just a 1-year pilot, so that's wholly independent. Our long-term goals for that system are to build it more on a county level, and a county-driven, not a prosecutors-driven system, and then transition that to maybe an entity like the Reds Committee or something like that that can take that over going forward. As far as AI internally in our product, there really hasn't, the vendor hasn't yet put anything internal to our product that's, I would say, AI driven. An area where it might happen in the future is, for instance, reading through like a myriad of police reports and maybe coming up with an initial summary of the narratives or something like that I would envision happening. But outside of that, the technology is all kind of standard Microsoft, so we've been able to adapt to anything that's going on in the county. And like I mentioned, the thing with the email, back for its time, there were so many changes going on with Microsoft, and that was a really heavy, difficult lift to do. But once we finally got it in place too, it works great. So technology's all standard. There's nothing proprietary about any of it. So I'm confident that anything that comes down the pike will be able to adapt to without like a huge gotcha or we need another contract to do something. Also included in this contract is 400 hours of their time, professional services that we can leverage and develop any little things that may or may not be part of their like standard, support and maintenance.
Understood. Thank you for that answer. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Just one real quick question. That 400 hours, does our internal IT team as a county, Are they involved with this process? Do you have your own kind of standalone entity over the prosecutor's office? What does that look like in your interaction with, you know, the service-based portion of the contract?
We have, well, we have both. We have a phenomenal internal staff, which Josh Brower, our infrastructure engineers in the back there. We are constantly in contact with Andy Johnson and his team on all initiatives that we work on. We never start doing anything without first a phone call, you know, a discussion. Now, regards to those hours are more for like an internal feature development, or say we need some sort of complex data analysis or transformation. Those hours would be for that, and if there were any place for a touch point, we would utilize them. So for instance, when we brought this system online, the standard Matrix client is all cloud-based. Their whole infrastructure is cloud-based. I was not ready yet to want to take our infrastructure from our on-premise environment here at Blue Bridge and put it into the cloud. Some things are just still a little bit more difficult and cumbersome in the type of systems that we run every day to put in the cloud. And so when we drew our picture of what our environment looks like, we have these 6 or 7 servers, they have to talk to each other this way. That's when we engage their team. They assign the appropriate engineers to work with us, work in tandem to put the entire infrastructure together.
Any other questions from my colleagues? All right, very good. Well, thank you very much for your words today, and also just your collaboration, you know, across entities and departments. These types of things can really be cumbersome, you know, having worked in the space a little bit, I can only imagine. So, you know, thanks for your stewardship with
You're
all
welcome.
this.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, very good. Well, then, I am making a recommendation that we move this out of committee and forward to our next council meeting for second reading. So I will put that out to a vote.
I'll second.
All right, very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. All right, Madam Clerk, next
you very
item.
much.
Thank you so much.
Resolution number 2026-0022, authorizing an amendment to a revenue-generating agreement with Securus Technologies for inmate telecommunication systems and maintenance services.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Cost. I'm with the Sheriff's Department. First of all, I would like to thank Madam Clerk and Chairperson for allowing me to zoom in while I recover from a recent medical procedure. This amendment here is it's a revenue generating contract with Securus. We are amending it, and I believe Jared should be around. If not, I could answer the best to my knowledge. We're going to receive a refund of $846,222 and some change from Securus. What happened is we were going to go with XJail for our jail management system. XJail never went live. They took out commissions, took out funds from our commissions to pay for XJail. However, since it didn't go live, they're going to refund us the $846,000.
All right, that sounds pretty straightforward. Any of my colleagues have any questions about this one in particular? No? All right. Yeah, well, we always like money coming back to us for sure. Can you just share a little bit about, you know, why that never went live in particular?
I don't know the specifics. This happened before I was moved over to the Sheriff's Department. I believe it just never went live behind the scenes. Therefore, we're getting the revenues back.
Okay.
I could look into that for you and get you more detail and send it to Madam Clerk so she could distribute the information.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you very much. Well, if there aren't any other questions, then I will make a motion to move this forward to our next council meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Chris, thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you.
You know, thanks for being flexible with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, have a good day.
So, all right, those were our 2 items that we had today. To my colleagues, is there any miscellaneous business? All right, if there is no business, then this meeting stands adjourned. Bam.